everyone, to Game 6 of the series between my franchise team and my friend's franchise mode team. Um, Washington currently holds the series lead at 3-2, narrowly winning the fifth game of the series. And we're coming in, and they can win what I'm calling the quote-unquote Stanley Cup. It's not really, but both of our teams are championship level teams, and I think that it would be a very realistic chance at if these two teams existed that they would be contenders for the Stanley Cup and could possibly meet there. Anyways, here we go. Opening face-off again. Nathan MacKinnon versus Tyler Seguin. MacKinnon winning the face-off back to Muzzin. Ahead to... Okay, we'll just say it went back to Muzzin. Oh, here's Tyler Seguin winning a foot race. Quickly getting a shot off on Hellebuck, who makes a quick early save. Muzzin now ahead to Philip Forsberg. Philip Forsberg carrying in. Philip Forsberg to the slot. Takes a shot and a good save for John Gibson now. Two early shots for both teams and two early saves for both goaltenders. As I have used an alternate jersey for the Canucks last game, so the Washington Capitals get to wear their alternates now. Nathan MacKinnon against Seguin in the Washington zone as MacKinnon now wins the faceoff. Muzzin over to Barry. Back to Muzzin. Barry down to Connor. Connor takes a shot that's blocked by Forsberg. Forsberg trying to collect and cannot. Gostisbehere across to Ellis. Up to Gaudreau. Gaudreau now. Down the wing. Johnny Gaudreau cutting in. Takes it behind the net. Johnny Gaudreau pinned against the boards now, and Kyle Connor comes up with the puck. Kyle Connor carrying through center. Across now to Nathan MacKinnon. MacKinnon back across to Kyle Connor. Kyle Connor shoots and a good save for John Gibson on a good look from Kyle Connor. Kyle Connor now trying to check on Johnny Gaudreau, who passes across to Sven Baertschi. Baertschi now losing the puck to Brock Besser. Brock Besser passing ahead to Alexander Kerfoot, who loses control at the blue line and causes an offside. Some more early action in this first period and some more early saves for both goalies. As both teams like to come out firing, and the goalies really need to be on top of their game right out of the gate. Barkov versus Kerfoot, and Barkov wins the faceoff cleanly. Now gets it ahead to Johansson. Johansson, a toe drag, loses control. Barkov fighting for it on the far side, loses control, loses the battle, and Vancouver gets the puck. Here's Brady Shea now ahead to Brock Besser. Besser over to Lee, loses it, gets it to Murphy though. Connor Murphy heading back to his own zone now. Connor Murphy to Shea. Here's Brock Besser. High in the slot. Here's Connor Murphy trying to get it through. Gets it back though. It takes a shot that's blocked. Alexander Kerfoot now to Shea. To Kerfoot. Kerfoot can't get it through, and that's collected by Washington. But Kerfoot gets it back in the slot. Takes a shot and scores. Alexander Kerfoot off of a Washington turnover, and the Canucks take a lead pretty early here in the game. Early in the first. And the Canucks' second line as an unassisted goal off of a pretty bad turnover by the Washington Capitals, and Alexander Kerfoot makes them pay on a beautiful shot far side on John Gibson. Canucks versus the Washington Capitals third line. Carlson versus Eriksson Ek. Eriksson Ek ties up, and Vancouver wins the faceoff. Here's Brendan Smith carrying down the wing. Brendan Smith in front. Eriksson Ek and a goal. Two quick goals for the Vancouver Canucks, and they are up 2-0 on the brink of elimination, and they have come out absolutely firing. That's two quick goals. What a beautiful play from Brendan Smith, as he has absolutely shown that he's worth more than every penny that the Canucks have paid for him in free agency at the beginning of this season. Brendan Smith absolutely setting up a beautiful goal for Eriksson Ek. Another center ice face-off, won by Eriksson Ek. Here's Brendan Smith to Hamonic, gets it to Wood. Wood can't control, loses it. And that'll actually be iced now by Washington as the pass missed both Washington players. So halfway through the first period, Vancouver is already up 2-0 here. We'll see if Washington can push them back and maybe get another goal before the period's out, because we've seen that the goalies can easily close the door on both teams. So if Connor Hellebuck is having an on game, it'll be very hard for Washington to get this goal back as William Karlsson now tries to come through the middle. Here's Brett Connolly carrying in front, and Hellebuck cuts that off and covers for the whistle. Defensive zone face-off here for Vancouver. It's Hartman versus Joel Eriksson-Ek. Eriksson-Ek wins the face-off and gets it back. Up to Wood now. Miles Wood carrying in the wing. Gets knocked off the puck, but keeps possession. Wood in front to Nelson, to Eriksson-Ek, and just can't get a stick before John Gibson can cover up the puck. Offensive zone faceoff now for Vancouver's fourth line, which has been shown to absolutely dominate whatever line they play against, and they always seem to get a chance on net. Here's Hunter Shinkaruk, and he scores! As I am talking up Vancouver's fourth line, Hunter Shinkaruk's absolute snipe of a shot. He has 3, maybe 4 goals in the series. There was the first 2 games, which I honestly can't really remember, but Hunter Shinkaruk has another goal, that absolutely deadly ridge shot. And Elias Pettersson with another assist, as this fourth line for the Vancouver Canucks has absolutely been clutch. And the Canucks are now up 3-0 against the Washington Capitals here in Game 6. And this is looking pretty bad for Washington. They're going to need to get a goal before the period is out to really get that momentum swinging back. And here comes Dzingel, Ryan Dzingel, cutting in, takes a shot, and that's saved by... Oh, and another save by Connor Hellebuck as... These silly numbers are constantly messing me up. I'm so sorry. Who's number 2? Who is that for Washington? Who is wearing number 2? Why does his name look so weird? I can't tell. Anyways, fourth line still facing off, this time in Vancouver's defensive end. Hartman wins the faceoff. Back to Ryan Ellis. Ellis shoots. That's blocked by Pierre-Luc Dubois. Now here's Pettersson up the wing. Elias Pettersson carrying in, making moves. Elias Pettersson loses it. But Dubois gets it in front. Pierre-Luc Dubois back to the point. Down to Dubois. Dubois powering it to the front, and boxed out was Hunter Shinkaruk, because he was looking for his second of the game already. And then was that Shinkaruk that just rocked that guy? No. Yeah, no. Pierre-Luc Dubois was the one. Here's Brady Shea now with a good shot. Oh, and it just trickles wide. Brady Shea almost scoring a goal there. Here comes Tom Wilson back the other way now. Tom Wilson down the far side. Drops back to Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere behind the net now. Over to Barkov. In front to Wilson. Gets it over to Gostisbehere. Takes a shot. And the save is made. And it gets hope. And Vancouver carries into the Washington. And now here's Kyle Connor across. Here's Connor Murphy. Passes in front. Kyle Connor takes a shot. And that's saved by Gibson. McKinnon now controlling. Connor back to Muzzin. Muzzin gives the puck back, but Connor Murphy gets it. Connor Murphy now fires it up the ice, and that icing will actually be beat out by Philip Forsberg. Look at the wheels on that guy. Forsberg now with a backhander trying to sneak one in past John Gibson. Last minute here in the first coming up, and a good shot, and Barkov can't get the shot away. An empty net, and he double clutched and couldn't get the shot as Connor Hellebuck came across and made the save on the rebound. Here's Svechnikov now. Svechnikov gives it away. Here's Brock Nelson with 5 seconds left. Brock Nelson coming into the Washington zone. 2 seconds now. Here's Eriksson-Ek with a quick shot. And a good save for John Gibson here. With his team down 3-0, that would have been a devastating blow to get scored on with just 1 second left in the first period. But even at that, Washington Capitals deep in the hole, down 3-0 here after 1 period. And another great goal for Hunter Shinkaruk, as his deadly wrist shot is showing why he's in the lineup over some higher rated players. And this game so far just seems to be dominated by Vancouver. Only a couple of good chances for Washington, and Hellebuck has been on top of his game. And the 2 first-line centers, Sagan and McKinnon, facing off at center ice yet again. This time the battle won by Nathan McKinnon, who gets it back to Muzzin. Over to Barrie. Tyson Berry now carrying in. Tyson Berry down the wing. Drops it back. This is Connor to Muzzin to Connor. Back to Berry. Gets it down deep. This is Nathan MacKinnon in front to Kyle Connor. To MacKinnon. Back to Connor. Lots of passing. No shooting here. And they finally lose control, but Washington ices the puck. So there will be another offensive zone faceoff for the Vancouver Canucks. As pressure from the first period just seems to have carried over to the second now. As MacKinnon facing off against Sagan and again wins another faceoff back to Muzzin over. What a save by John Gibson on that one-timer from Kyle Connor. Here's MacKinnon though winning the puck behind the back of the net. Gets it back. Here's Philip Forsberg on the sideboards. To Berry. To Muzzin. To Berry. Berry takes a shot. That's deflected and it's in! Kyle Connor with a deflection in the slot. And John Gibson could not make the save as the puck was just inside the post. And that's 4-0 for the Vancouver Canucks here in the second period. As Kyle Connor makes a great offensive play and deflects that puck past John Gibson, who had no chance on the play. As the Canucks on the brink of elimination have come out and absolutely been firing. The second line's now out for both teams. Kerfoot against Barkov. Kerfoot ties up, and here's Brock Besser. Brock Besser hit along the boards, and Tom Wilson takes the puck. Tom Wilson dumps the puck deep, and collecting that is Alexander Barkov. Barkov in the corner gets it to Wilson, and gives it away to Lee now. Anders Lee going back the other way. Anders Lee. Far side, cutting to the middle, loses control, but here's Kerfoot. Kerfoot can't keep control. Here's Jake Muzzin to Brady Shea. Brady Shea loses control, and here's Tom Wilson ahead to Johansson, who gets it across to Barkov. Back to Johansson, to Barkov. Barkov in the circle to Johansson, gets a piece of it, but not very much, and Connor Hellebuyck easily makes that save. 13:51 to go in the second. We're about halfway through this game. The Canucks are up 4-0. They still haven't, the Washington Capitals have not had too many great chances on Connor Hellebuyck. Haven't forced him to make any real big saves yet. As we say that, Ben Hutton just misses the net. A good chance, but no shot. Here's Miles Wood now. Miles Wood controlling in the offensive zone. Miles Wood over to Shea. Gets it across to Murphy. Tries to get a shot away. That's fanned on. Here's Nelson now. Nelson tries to find Miles Wood. Can't, and Washington collects. Here's Brett Connolly down the right wing. Connolly behind the net. He's checked. Still maintains possession. Brings it out in front. And Connor Hellebuyck manages to keep that puck out. There were some dangerous chances there. Brock Nelson now carrying through center. Brock Nelson getting in behind. Trying to track for Van Riemsdyk, who just rings it around. Gives that away though. Here's Miles Wood. Travis Hamonic tries to get it deep, and that's a giveaway. This is a 3-on-1 for Washington. Here's Brett Connolly. Brett Connolly shoots, and a good save for Connor Hellebuyck. Couldn't find a good passing lane, just tried to get a good shot off, and Connor Hellebuyck was thinking shot that whole way. Both teams' fourth lines now out there. Ryan Hartman against Pierre-Luc Dubois. The Canucks' fourth line has proven to be the better line throughout the series. As here's Pierre-Luc Dubois on his own end, fires it ahead. Here's Elias Pettersson, who's looked absolutely stunning in this series. Takes a slap shot and a good save there for John Gibson. Washington the other way now. Here's Dzingel with some moves. Ryan Dzingel behind the net, trying to bank it off the defenseman and in. Brendan Smith, though, having none of that. Dzingel in front of the net, brings it out. Here's Connor Brown. Connor Brown to the corner, powering it behind the net. Connor Brown gets it to Hartman. Hartman to Gostisbehere. Ellis now at the point. Connor Brown at the side. One-timer and a great save for Connor Hellebuyck on Ryan Hartman, who is all alone in the slot. Here comes Hunter Shinkaruk back the other way. He's just going to dump it in and start a change for Vancouver, as he's just going to be the only forechecker here. What a hit there. I believe that's Nathan MacKinnon absolutely rocking the Washington Capitals defender. Hartman back the other way, though. Ryan Hartman in the Canucks corner. Back to, and Brown, and a good shot there, but a good save for Connor Hellebuyck. Jake Muzzin over to MacKinnon now. MacKinnon carrying in. Gets it deep, and Kyle Connor will chase. Kyle Connor collecting at the sideboards. Gets it back to Barry. Tyson Barry in front to Forsberg. Back to Barry. Gives it away to Gaudreau. Johnny Gaudreau. And he gets that ahead to Sven Berchi. Berchi toe drag into the circle, gives it to Sagan. Sagan to Ekholm. Ekholm to Sagan. Sagan trying to find Gaudreau in front, can't. That puck's now given away. And a good shot and a great deflection and another good save for Connor Hellebuck. Hellebuck now facing another shot off the mask as Tyler Sagan at the side of the net. Perfect shot and another perfect positioning save for Hellebuck. As this pressure is mounting for the first line, and here comes Gaudreau over to Sagan. Sagan to Gaudreau. Hutton at the point now. Hutton coming in, shoots, and a great save for Connor Hellebuck in the last minute of the second period. Hutton streaking down all alone, and Connor Hellebuck manages to make the save. What a save for Hellebuck, keeping his team ahead in the game. Canucks still up 4-0. Last minute in the second here. Offensive zone face-off for Washington. Face-off's won by Vancouver, and here's Brock Boeser down the left wing. Brock Boeser carrying into the corner now. 7 seconds left. Back to Murphy. Takes a shot. That's blocked. Murphy holds the blind, though, but Johansson will collect, and that'll be the period as no more shots will be able to get gotten off. And through to the Canucks are up 4-0 as John Gibson has seemed to have an off game, and Hellebuck has managed to just keep the door closed. Some more good chances for Washington in that period, and some really good offensive zone time for their first line, but Kyle Connor is the only goal in the second. And on the brink of elimination, the Vancouver Canucks have managed to just power through and score more goals than we kind of thought possible into this game. Heading into the third, Washington will need a miracle to get 4 goals on Connor Hellebuck. Let's see what Washington can pull off, though. We've seen crazier things. And Sagan versus McKinnon, and off the tie-up, the Canucks come up with possession. Forsberg to Kyle Connor on the right wing. Kyle Connor to Philip Forsberg, making a move and can't get a shot off. Too close in. McKinnon now fighting for the puck, and he loses it in the corner. Here's Sagan, back to Gaudreau. Gaudreau carrying up the near side, he'll just dump it in. Baertschi collecting, no, Baertschi also missing it. He's got it at the sideboards now, gets behind, but that'll be Tyson Barrie collecting behind the net. Tyson Barrie, though, gives it away. Johnny Gaudreau knocked off it by Jake Muzzin. Jake Muzzin getting it to Tyson Barrie, who gets it up to Philip Forsberg. Philip Forsberg now carrying up the ice. Philip Forsberg making moves, comes to the middle. It's Philip Forsberg, shoots it, that's blocked! Johnny Gaudreau with a goal-saving block behind the goal. He manages to make the save himself. And Johnny Gaudreau saving his team from going down 5-0. And Johansson now offensive zone. Gossesbehr to Johansson, shoots, and that's blocked. Alex Kerfoot, defensive play. Now Anders Lee gets the puck up to Philip Forsberg, who's still on the ice. Philip Forsberg dumps it deep, and Anders Lee will chase after. Against Ryan Ellis, who gets it to Johansson. Here's Barkov now on the right side. Barkov knocked off it by Brady Shea. Kerfoot and Shea double teaming, but they give the puck away. Johansson in front, backhander, and that's saved. Rebound, Johansson again, and Hellebuck shuts the door. Johansson can't seem to find a way to get this puck past Hellebuck, and we're almost halfway through the third period, and Hellebuck has kept his team in the game. Connor Hellebuck making some great saves. Johansson, I thought for sure, was going to score on that second rebound there, but to no avail. Hellebuck is on top of his game right now. Kerfoot ties up Barkov and gets the puck, and now Boeser carrying up the far side. Brock Boeser cuts to the middle, carries down the wing now, back to Connor Murphy. Murphy shoots along the ice, that's blocked. Hutton now carries up to Wilson. Wilson checked, though, loses control, and here's Kerfoot across to Boeser, into Lee. Anders Lee takes a shot, that's blocked. Brady Shea can't make it, and here's Barkov going the other way. Tom Wilson now. Tom Wilson, he's been quiet, but he's been a clutch player for Washington thus far, but he loses the puck, and now this is Brock Boeser going the other way. Brock Boeser carrying down the wing. He's hit, but can maintain possession of the puck. Brock Boeser behind to Eric's neck. Eric's neck to Nelson to Boeser. Boeser shoots it. A great save by John Gibson. We're halfway through the third now, and John Gibson really needs to shut the door, and he needs his team to step it up and get some goals for him now. Offensive zone face-off for the Vancouver Canucks. Eric's neck wins it back. Here's Brendan Smith. Brendan Smith shoots. That shot's tipped, and the puck just flutters down to John Gibson, who covers up for the whistle. Another offensive zone faceoff for Eriksson Ek against William Karlsson. Karlsson wins the faceoff this time, and Svechnikov controls and gets it back to Larson. Up to Brett Connolly, who gets it over to Evgeny Svechnikov. Here's William Karlsson bearing down, gets to Svechnikov. Svechnikov in the corner now behind the net. Svechnikov carries in front, good shot, good save for Hellebuck. Canucks carry, Hamonic behind his own net, rings it around. That's collected by Brock Nelson. Brock Nelson now coming up the ice. Brock Nelson up to Joel Eriksson Ek. Eriksson Ek over to Brock Nelson, up to Miles Wood, who takes a shot and a good save for John Gibson. Eriksson Ek now, he's hooked, and that'll be a penalty, and it was 7:12 left. Washington does not afford to be taking penalties, as Ryan Hartman hooks his man, and Vancouver will go to the power play with 7:12 left. And if they manage to score on this power play, I'd basically write Washington out of this game. As McKinnon will be up on this face-off against Ryan Dzingel, we'll see what happens here. Dzingel ties up his man, but Vancouver manages to get the puck. Barry to Forsberg. Forsberg to McKinnon. McKinnon shoots off the post and in. What a snipe for Nathan McKinnon. And that just about does it for this game. 5-0 for Vancouver. Washington would have to pull off a miracle to get more goals off against Connor Hellebuck in the last 6 minutes of this game, as Vancouver has absolutely dominated every facet of this game. They scored way more goals. They've came out firing, and they just haven't stopped, as Nathan McKinnon with an absolutely beautiful goal. As the Canucks look to tie this series up and force it to a Game 7 on a home ice. McKinnon winning the faceoff against Sagan. Muzzin over to Barry. Up to Philip Forsberg. Philip Forsberg carrying in on the left wing. Philip Forsberg over to Muzzin. Muzzin in the slot. Takes a shot. That's a good save for John Gibson. Gostisbehere now up to Johnny Gaudreau, as Washington really wants to get a goal and at least try and get back into this game. Johnny Gaudreau now behind the net. Gaudreau back to Ellis. Ellis over to Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere tries to get it in front. Baertschi collects. Sagan back to Ellis. Ellis shoots. That's blocked in front. And here's Philip Forsberg collecting, gets it across to Kyle Connor. Kyle Connor crossing center ice now, down the near side. Kyle Connor cutting to the middle. Kyle Connor over to Jake Muzzin. Muzzin shoots, that's blocked. And collecting is Ryan Ellis down the far side. And here comes Tyler Sagan cutting in. Tyler Sagan back to Van Riemsdyk, back to Sagan, who shoots. That's saved by Connor Hellebuck. And now Hunter Shinkaruk carrying. He'll just dump it in and let his teammates get a change in. Hunter Shinkaruk not aggressively forechecking, up 5-0. There's no reason to. As here comes Johnny Gaudreau. Johnny Gaudreau coming in. Lots of room. Takes a shot. Oh, and a rebound goal for Connor Brown, as Johnny Gaudreau went for the 5-hole. And the rebound went right to Gaudreau. So breaking the shutout for Washington, but 1:43 left in the game. I don't think they're going to have time to get 4 more goals. It's too little too late for Washington, as that is this goal. Still, I guess it's more about the morale breaking the shutout for Connor Hellebuck, but we'll see what they can do. Magical things have happened before, so we'll see what Washington can pull off. Jacob Larson now gets it up ahead. Here's Connor Brown. Just scored a goal. Here's Connor Brown coming in, making a move. Knocked off the puck. And here's Connor Murphy now ahead to Elias Pettersson. Pierre-Luc Dubois. Pierre-Luc Dubois carrying in. Pierre-Luc Dubois with a toe drag. Takes a shot. A good shot. And that's John Gibson making a save. Plays it to Jacob Larson. Up to Connor Brown. 47 seconds left now to Dzingel. Over to Brown. Brown making another move. Again knocked off the puck though. Back to Dzingel. Dzingel knocked off the puck. And here's Hunter Shinkaruk carrying out now. Hunter Shinkaruk down the far side. Elias Pettersson running a little bit of a pick, giving him some more room. Here's Shinkaruk cutting to the middle. We know how good his shot is. We've seen it several times today. Hunter Shinkaruk pinned along the boards though, and Jacob Larson controls. Up to Dzingel. Here's Alexander Barkov now. He's bodied off the puck, but he gets it to Larson. Barkov shoots, and a good save for Hellebuck. Barkov trying to get the puck again. 18 seconds left in the game. Barkov comes and shoots. That's another good save for Hellebuck. Hamonic now controlling the puck. Brady Shea gets it up to Brock Besser, and that'll do it for this game. 7 seconds left. Vancouver will be going back home. The score is yet to be determined in this one, and it will be 5-1. 5-1 win for the Vancouver Canucks. The widest margin I think we've seen in the whole series. In Game 6 here, as on the brink of elimination, the Vancouver Canucks come together and show they're still here to play as they force a Game 7. Some really nice goals scored by the Vancouver Canucks, but John Gibson, I think, could have made a few more saves to keep his team in it. But the play was dominated by Vancouver from the start almost to the very finish. As the only way they could seem to find a way past Connor Hellebuck was off of a rebound. What a beautiful goal here. Well, thank you guys all so much for watching, and I hope you join me for Game 7 in Vancouver to decide whose franchise mode team is the better of mine or my friends. That's really what this is all about. It's not about a Stanley Cup or about anything like that. Although, like I said, I think that both teams are definitely worthy of being talked about as Stanley Cup favorites. I hope you guys are enjoying this little series that I'm doing, and I hope you're cheering for the Vancouver Canucks, as am I. I'm trying to be an unbiased commentator and cheer for both teams, but in the end, go Canucks go. And I hope that, yeah, you join me for Game 7, where it's finally decided. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later.